This video, we will be learning about how we can do the questions on our ITR in our income tax paper. So in this video, we'll be covering questions on salary, other sources, and capital gains. So this year, basically, we don't have the Excel. So we'll have to calculate everything manually. So we will be using this particular Indian income tax return, ITR form number 2, which is not for individuals and HUFs which are having PGBP income. So apart from PGBP income, we'll be solving the questions with the help of this ITR2, in which we'll be having questions on salary, house property, other sources, and capital gains. Okay, so this is one of the practice set which I have prepared. So in this particular question, we have to generate the income tax return from the data given below, and these are the particulars of the assessee. These are the general details like the name, the father's name, the PAN number, date of birth, address, mobile number, email. So we have to read each and every information from the question, and then we can start solving it. So important ones are the residential status. Okay, he is ROR, resident and ordinarily resident. This ITR is original ITR. He has filed the original return, and this is as per section 139 subsection 1. The employer name is given, the PAN of employer is given. He is not the director, he is not the shareholder in unlisted company, and he is having one bank account in the previous year. Date is also given, the ITR date filing, and the bank's details are given. Then some income details are given, salary income, capital gains, then income from other sources, some investments that he has made. TDS information is given, advanced tax information is given, and some asset details are given. Okay, so in short, we know about what all information is given under each head. So now we can start with solving our question. So we'll move back to the ITR form number 2. Okay, and what you can do, you can take a print of that particular form, and then you can start solving it by using a black or blue pen. And after solving it manually, you can just click the pictures, make a PDF, and then you can send it to your respective teachers. Okay, I am solving it by using Adobe Reader only, but you have to solve it manually using pen. Okay, so let's start this question. Okay, so first, the information is first name. So first name is Naresh. Okay, so we'll just copy Naresh here. Then middle name is not required. Last name is Kumar. Okay, then PAN information is given. So you can add all this information. Okay, I'm just showing you how we can write this. You can write this information in each block. Okay, just for the just saving the time, I'm just copying pasting it, but you can write this information in each block. Then the date of birth is given, so you can write the date of birth. Okay, so date of birth is this, you can write it here. Then this address is given, so you can write the address also. Okay, so you can write the address here. Okay, then you can write the area, the state. Okay, so this is, okay, there you can write Karnataka. Country is India. Then you can also write the postal code in each of the cells. Okay, so I'm just copying pasting, but you can write manually in each of the block. Then mobile number, so you can write the mobile number here. Okay, this is the mobile number. So we have entered all the general information of the assessee. Then email address is also given, so we can copy email address from here, and you can write it. Okay, here. Okay, then filed under section Okay, so it's an original return, section 139 subsection 1. So it is here. You just have to tick it. Okay, so you can manually tick it. Then it's not applicable. It's not response to any notice. Are you opting for new tax regime? So you have to click no here. Okay, it's applicable for everyone. We are not following the new tax regime for practical purposes. Okay, then are we filing return income under 7th proviso to section 130? No, we are not. So just uh, just tick mark here also. Then if yes, then you have to furnish the following information. So you are not required to to write any information in these cells. So you have to keep it blank. Don't even write 0, just keep it blank. Then if revised, effective, modified, then enter receipt number. So you have to keep it blank. If filed in response to notice, you keep it blank. Then it is about residential status. So it is for an individual. So since in the question it is already given that he is ROR, so we'll be selecting this first one, that you were in India for 182 days or more, because he was here in India for 280 days. So we will select this first option. Then you can leave everything. The second one is for HUF. Then do you want to claim the benefit under section? No. Okay. Are you governed by Portuguese Civil Code? No. Whether the return is being filed by a representative assessee? No. We are filing the return on ourselves. We are not employing any representative assessee for that. Whether you were director in a company at any time? No. Okay. It's already given in the question, director in a company, it's nil. Then, okay, whether you have held unlisted equity shares at any time during the previous year. So select no here because it's given in the question. If there would have been yes, then this information would have been given in the question. Okay. Now, this is details of income from salary. So here you have to write the name of employer. Okay, sorry, the name of employer is given in the general information. So this is the name of the employer. So we'll write it here. Okay. Nature of the employer. So it would have been a drop down list, but if it is not given, you can just write private. Okay. TAN of employer. So TAN number is given. This is PAN and TAN means the same thing only. So you can write it. No. It's PAN and TAN are different. So TAN, you can take it from here. Okay, this is the TAN of employer. This one. So you can paste it here. It's automatically pasted in the right, blocks. So you can write it like this only. Then address of employer you can find from the general information. This is the address. Then town, city, and state is Bangalore, this Karnataka. And then you can write the zip code. Okay, now gross salary. It's very important because in the questions, you will find the breakup of salary, which is basic salary, traveling allowance or transport allowance or house rent allowance, like this. But in this particular format, you will find the salary as per provision, as per section 17(1). So it includes all your allowances, all your basic salary. Okay, so it and this all types of retirement benefits. So you will be including every other information here. You have to add them up. Then value of perquisites as per section 17 subsection 2. So if any perquisite value, if it would have been given in the question, you have to write it here. And profit in lieu of salary as per section 17 subsection 3. If it would have been in the question, you have to write it here. So we will read our question. In this basic salary, traveling allowance, house rent allowance, entertainment allowances are given, and profit in lieu of salary. So this we have to keep as separate figure and we have to add them up. Don't worry about the taxable or non-taxable portion, just add up everything. Okay, so basic salary is 62 lakhs. Then traveling allowance is 27,690. Then house rent allowance is 31,000 received from the employer, and out of it, the entire 31,000 is exempted. Okay, so we have taken 31,000 already. Then entertainment allowances 8,000. Okay, so we have to add them up. Since in the question it is not given that whether it's a government employer or non-government employee, we are treating it as private employee where entertainment allowances are not exempted. Okay, so we will add them up. It has become 62 lakhs 66,690. We'll copy this information and we will add it here. Next is value of perquisites are not given. Profit in lieu of salary is given. So we will take this value and we will add it here. Okay. Then total gross salary. So we have to add these two informations and write it here. So we'll add 72,000. We'll copy this value and we will write it here. Less allowances exempted to the extent under section 10. Now find out all the values which are exempted. So traveling allowances is exempted. So 27,690 is exempted. House rent allowance is exempted, 31,000. Apart from that, nothing is exempted. So we'll add both these figures and we'll just copy the total figure and write it here. Then you have to subtract this value from this because this is now net salary. Okay. So subtract 633,8690. Okay, so it is 6,28,000. Just to write it here. Okay, then deductions. Okay, so deductions we know. Entertainment allowance ki hum nahi denge since in the question it is not mentioned. Then standard deduction we know it is 50,000. अगर क्वेश्चन में मैं डाल दूंगी ना गवर्नमेंट तब आपको डालना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउंस की आपको डिडक्शन देनी पड़ेगी. Similarly for professional tax, because this is something which we can expect that you guys must be knowing because we have already covered salary. So the entry of information in the ITR form number 2 is not very difficult. Only the understanding of the concepts is more important. Okay, now we have to subtract this 50,000 from this value. So we'll subtract 50,000. So it is 6,23,000. 50,000, yeah. It is 62 lakhs, right? 62 lakhs. Now it is 30,000. So we have calculated our income under the head salaries. Okay, so this is 62 lakhs 30,000. Then it is about house property. In this question, we don't have house property. Okay, there is capital gain. So we'll completely ignore this particular part. We will not add any information here. Now this is the capital gains part. Okay, this is for short-term capital gain. Now just see the question first. First is sales consideration of personal asset. Date of transfer is 10 September 2019. Cost of acquisition, year of acquisition 1617 is this information. Okay, this is a printing error. Date of transfer यहाँ पे आएगा and then this is cost of acquisition. But you have to you have to understand this particular thing. In terms of capital gains, in the first class itself, we have learned about how we can actually ascertain whether this particular asset is a capital asset or not. Because capital gains are calculated only on the capital assets. So personal computer, it is a personal asset. Okay. And by rule, we know that personal assets are not capital assets. Apart from certain exemptions, exemptions include jewelry, bullion items, and some artistic work. So there was some 5-6 exemptions. Apart from that, we were clear that personal assets are not capital assets. In this case, personal computer is a personal asset. So we will not be calculating any capital gain for that. We will completely disregard this information. Personal computer हो, laptop हो, mobile phone हो, या फिर motorbike हो, these all are personal assets. So we will not be calculating capital gains for those. The next one is sale consideration of jewelry. Now we know jewelry is a personal asset, but there are some exemptions. That is why we are sure that jewelry is a capital asset. So in this case, the sales consideration is given, right? The cost of acquisition is given. We have to find out the indexed cost of acquisition since the difference is greater than 36 months, right? So in this case, we'll be calculating the long-term capital gains. So for that, we have to completely disregard this information. Short-term capital gains, we don't have to calculate. Okay, so just disregard this information. Okay, you can definitely read the particulars there. If it would have been a short-term capital gain, this is for land or building or both. You can write full value consideration, then stamp value, whatever, if it is there. Then you can find out the deductions, that is without indexation, with cost of improvement, cost of acquisition, balance, then any kind of deductions under section 54B, because we have already covered all the deductions, right, which are applicable as per your syllabus. So you have to write it. Okay, then it is for immovable properties. The next one is for equity shares or unit of equity oriented mutual funds. So अगर ऐसी कोई category है, you have to write the particulars here. Then this is for non-resident. So this we have to completely disregard because our person, our assessee is a resident person. Then for sale of assets other than A1 or A2 or A3 or A4 above, कोई और अगर कोई asset है तो ठीक है. Then amount deemed to be a short-term capital gain. We have not covered this in our theory paper, so it will not be, no question will come up from this particular section. Then, so everything related to short-term capital gains, we have to completely disregard. Now, next comes long-term capital gain. Okay, so this is our area of interest for the time being. And we know that we have to find out the capital asset, which is the table which we can fit our capital asset into. Our capital asset is jewelry. Okay, so first is from sale of land or building or both. So we don't have to enter the information here. Then from sale of bonds or debentures other than capital index bonds, this is also not our table. From sale of listed securities other than unit or zero coupon bonds, this is also not our table. Then for sale of equity shares in a company or unit of equity oriented fund or unit of a business trust on which STT is paid, this is also not. Then for non-residents also we have to completely ignore these tables. Then for sale of foreign exchange, I said this is also we have to ignore. Then from the sale of assets where B1 to B8 above are not applicable. So in this particular table, we have to write the information because our asset, that is jewelry, is not fitting into B1 to B8. कहीं पे भी fit नहीं हो रहा, it means उसकी information यहाँ पे आएगी. कहाँ पे आएगी अब ये देखो आप. In case assets sold include shares of a company other than quoted shares, then enter the following details. ठीक है, so इसमें क्या क्या details है आपकी? Unquoted shares के बारे में, but हमारा jewelry है. उसके बाद है full value of consideration in respect of asset other than unquoted share. So this is our area in which we can actually write the information about jewelry. ठीक है, so other than unquoted shares. So full value consideration. So what is the full value consideration? It is 48 lakhs. So write 48 lakhs here. Then you can total it up. So it's same. Then deductions make cost of acquisition with indexation. Now we have to find the cost of index cost of acquisition value. So this will be 4 lakh divided by 109 into 301. Okay, this is how we find the indexed cost of acquisition. This value divided by CII of the cost of acquisition, that is 34 into CII of the year in which sale consideration has taken place, that is 2021. So this is our value. So we will write this value here. Okay, so we can remove this. Expenditures wholly and exclusively in connection, this is not there. So this is the total value. Okay, then the balance. Okay, so the balance between this to this. So this minus 48 lakhs. Okay, so this is the balance information. I'm so sorry. This is the balance information. Okay, so this is the balance. Deductions under section 54F. ठीक है, so अगर कोई ऐसी deduction लिखी होगी section question में तो ही डालना, otherwise just disregard this information. There is no deduction. Now you can directly write your information here. So this is your long-term capital gain. Okay, which is 36,95,430. Now the next table is, I'm just copying this value. Okay. Now next 10th is amount debited, it's not required. Then 11 is pass through income loss in the nature, it is also not required. Then amount of long-term capital gains included in this but not chargeable or to tax or chargeable at special rate, this is also not required. Then income chargeable under the head, it's not required. Then informations about deductions claims, so this is also not required. अगर कोई deduction होती ना जो हमने sections करे थे in case residential property खरीद लेते हैं, bonds खरीद लेते हैं types, so अगर कोई deductions claim करिए तभी information यहाँ पे आएगी कि क्या थी, आपने original asset कब transfer किया, आपने new residential house कब खरीदा, date of purchase या construction of new residential house, कितना capital account scheme में आपने deposit करा दिया, कितना आपने claim कर लिया. So this is section wise information given. So अगर कोई deduction होगी तो you can write that information here. Okay, then set off of current capital losses with current year capital gains. So कोई set off नहीं है, so disregard this information. Then information about accrual and receipt of capital gains. So this particular table is important. Okay, so ये table में हमारा data कहाँ आएगा? Long-term capital gains taxable at the rate of 20%. It's a jewelry. ठीक है, अगर हम अपना long term capital देखें, notes देखें, capital gains, ठीक है, just give me a second. I'll show you how we actually ascertain whether which particular tax rate will be applicable. ठीक है, this is the table. Now ours is long-term capital gain, and this is this long-term capital gains for listed, equity shares, except listed securities, except listed equity shares, या फिर unlisted securities or any other asset. Okay, so any other asset हमारा आ गया jewelry वाला case, क्योंकि listed equity shares के लिए it's 10%. So हमारे case में it will be 20% plus surcharge plus higher education cess. You have to be very careful about long-term capital gains because it is never added into your slab rate calculations. It is always have a separate calculation. Okay, so we know that it is lying in the 20% bracket. So find out where it is 20%. This long-term capital gains taxable at the rate of 20%. Now it is asking about the date in which the capital gain has taken place. Now in your question, just check. It has happened on 10th of September 2020. So this is the column in which we have to write this information. Okay, and the long-term capital gain amount. This is only to tell the authorities that we have, the capital gain we have received in this particular, the month bracket. So we have received it on 10th of September. So we have written this information here. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे भूलना मत, इस पर्टिकुलर टेबल में भी आपकी एक इंफॉर्मेशन आएगी. ठीक है, उसके बाद जस्ट वी नो दैट कैपिटल गेन्स आर डन. नाउ नेक्स्ट विल बी You just have to ignore this information. Other sources. Now come to other sources. Saving bank interest. Okay. So from savings, dividends are not here. Saving banks, it's 11,400. So write this information here. Then gifts received in cash from a friend. So we know it is 36,000, which is less than 50,000. So it will be exempted. बट अगर यही चीज 51,000 होती तो हमें ये इंफॉर्मेशन यहाँ पे डालनी होती. एग्रीगेट वैल्यू ऑफ सम ऑफ मनी रिसीव्ड विदाउट कंसिडरेशन. सो इट्स गिफ्ट. सो ये गिफ्ट की वैल्यू यहाँ पे आ जाती. अगर ये 50,000 से ज्यादा होता, अभी ये कम है तो ये एग्जेम्प्ट है. देन बैंक इंटरेस्ट एफडी फ्रॉम SBI, this is net of TDS. Okay, so 1,80,000 divided by 90%. Sorry. So it is basically 90 into 100. So it is basically 2 lakh. Okay, bank interest was 2 lakh, 20,000 is TDS. So we will write the entire 2 lakh figure here. No income tax refund, this, nothing. Others, nothing. Rental income, it is, यहाँ पे you have to write the total amount. So this will be 2,11,000. ठीक है, हमारी नहीं है. So कोई हमारा फैमिली पेंशन भी नहीं है, कोई स्पेशल रेट्स पे भी नहीं होगा, विनिंग फ्रॉम लॉटरीज भी नहीं है. देन एक्यूमुलेटेड बैलेंस ऑफ रिकॉग्नाइज्ड प्रोविडेंट फंड भी नहीं है, स्पेशल रेट की कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है. ठीक है, कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, हम ऑलरेडी अपना सारा डाल चुके हैं. ठीक है, सो इनकम फ्रॉम एक्टिविटी ऑफ दिस भी नहीं है, इनकम अंडर द हेड ऐसा नहीं है कुछ भी. सो इट इज ऑलरेडी डन. ठीक है, दिस वाज द टोटल इंफॉर्मेशन दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी एंटर्ड हियर. ठीक है, सिर्फ यही हमारी है इंटरेस्ट ग्रॉस, इसके अलावा हमारी कोई और इंफॉर्मेशन है ही नहीं. कोई टोटल का फिगर नहीं है ना यहाँ पे. Deductions, depreciation, net income from other sources, no. 2 plus 6. Okay, it's not there, so fine. This is that was the only cell in which we were required to put the information. Then set off and current year losses you have to ignore, no such information is given. Then brought forward losses not given, carry forward not given. Deductions, now this is important. Now come to the deductions part, that is investment and expenditures. First is recognized provident fund contribution, it is 55,000. Okay, so it will come in ATC. Next is public provident fund contribution, it will also come under section ATC. So you can add these figures. Okay, this plus 55,000, 1,41,000. Okay, recognized provident fund contribution आपका और public PPF, ये दोनों के दोनों ATC में आते हैं. Then NPS is 82,000. ठीक है, NPS वाला जो आता है वो आता है 80CCD 1B के अंडर. इट्स एन एडिशनल डिडक्शन अप टू द अमाउंट ऑफ 50,000. ठीक है, ये एडिशनल डिडक्शन है. अब एक यहाँ पे ना कैच है. कैच क्या है यहाँ पे कि 80CCD 1B जो एडिशनल है वो 50,000 दे रही है और हमारी जो 80C है वो हमें दे रही है 141,000. इसका मतलब हम मैक्सिमम 80C के अंदर कितना क्लेम कर सकते हैं, 1,50,000, जिसमें हमारा पेंशन जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है दैट इज आल्सो इंक्लूसिव. तो हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे 50,000 के बाद भी हमारे पास बैलेंस बच रहा है एनपीएस का, विच इज 32,000. 32,000 में हम 9,000 यहाँ पे भी ऐड कर सकते हैं. We can actually divide our amount like this because as a rational assessee, as a conservative assessee, I would like to manage my tax in such a manner so that I can pay less taxes to the government. It's not a measure of tax evasion, basically it's a measure of tax management. जब मुझे पता है कि 80C के अंदर, ठीक है, 80C के अंदर मुझे 1.5 लाख की मुझे एग्जेम्पशन मिलती है, तो मैं पूरी 1.5 लाख की यूज कर रही हूँ ना, क्योंकि इसमें पेंशन भी आता है, राइट? पूरा 1.5 लाख में इसमें पेंशन भी आता है. सो व्हाट आई कैन डू, मैं 9,000 यहाँ पे ऐड कर देती हूँ अपने पेंशन के, और बाकी 50 पूरा का पूरा मैं 80CCD 1B में भी ले देती हूँ, क्योंकि ये मेरा एडिशनल डिडक्शन. ठीक है, 80CCD 1B 50,000 इज एडिशनल, इसीलिए मैं यहाँ पे 1,41,000 नहीं, मैं 1,50,000 लिखूंगी, क्योंकि मुझे पता है 9,000 का बैलेंस मैं यहाँ से उठा सकती हूँ. ठीक है, आई होप इट इज क्लियर. दिस यू हैव टू सी. 80C में हमारी मैक्सिमम डिडक्शन 1,50,000 है, which we can claim inclusive all the avenues which are possible in which we can make an investment. In that case, the pension is also there. ठीक है, सो इसीलिए मैंने पेंशन का यहाँ से अमाउंट उठा के 9,000 यहाँ डाल दिया है. तब भी मेरे पास बैलेंस बचता है, तो मैंने 50,000 यहाँ लगा दिया. इसके बाद भी अब जो बैलेंस बचता है वो आई कैन नॉट यूटिलाइज. ठीक है. Next comes cash deposited in Sukanya Samriddhi account. This we have to see. Okay, I'm not sure in which particular section it can go. So, cash deposited in Sukanya's deduction section. So this is also 80C. ठीक है. अब 80C में हम और benefit नहीं ले सकते. We have already included पूरा का पूरा 1,50,000 here. So this we cannot now claim. ठीक है. So इसमें मैक्सिमम आपका 1.5 लाख और 50,000 80CCD 1B में मिल सकता है. ठीक है. तो सुकन्या समृद्धि अकाउंट we cannot use now. Next one is about the interest. So हमें पता है कि उसको सेविंग बैंक्स पे इंटरेस्ट मिला है और एफडी पे भी इंटरेस्ट मिला है. Now we have to check the age of the assessee. The assessee is, he has born in 1956, so 44 plus 21, so he's definitely a senior citizen. And senior citizen के लिए it is a double TB, right? This is the section which is applicable. So double TB, here he can claim the deduction of 10,000. ठीक है. उसका TDS कटा कितना है? उसका कटा है 20,000. ठीक है. जितना भी उसका TDS कटा है उसके ऊपर 10,000 तक की उसको डिडक्शन मिल गई है. सो ये हमेशा याद रखना, डबल TA इज फॉर द नॉर्मल रेजिडेंट एंड डबल TB इज फॉर द सीनियर सिटीजन. सो ये हमने डाल दिया. नाउ वी हैव टू ऐड द टोटल डिडक्शंस व्हिच आर 2,10,000. जस्ट राइट हियर 2,10,000. डन. Now donations under section 80C. So no donation information is given. So just keep it blank. Then alternative minimum tax payable is not there, so keep it blank. Then tax credit information is not there, keep it blank. Then specified information, no. So just leave all these tables. Now exemption income, agricultural income, and these kind of information, so it's not there, just leave it. Then pass-through income details from business trust or event, this also just leave it. Details of income from outside, this also you have to ignore. Details of foreign assets and incomes, no. That is why it's important to read the question, first, because then you understand that what kind of information we have. So just leave these kind of informations. Then information regarding apportionment income, this is also not there. Now comes assets and liabilities at the end of the year. Applicable in case where total income exceeds 50 lakhs. So definitely it's a case because his salary income itself is 62 lakhs. So now you have to write the details of immovable assets here. But in this case, asset value is given for jewelry held by the assessee on this, cost of acquisition, market value. So this is basically the cost of acquisition of jewelry, and this is the market values in today's date. So it's not immovable asset, so we cannot write the information here. It's basically a movable asset, and here it is jewelry. Okay, jewelry की information यहाँ डालनी है, और यहाँ ऊपर साफ लिखा है cost. सो कॉस्ट जितनी थी वही आपको डालनी है, ना कि उसकी मार्केट वैल्यू। ठीक है, दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज एंटर्ड। फाइनेंशियल असेट्स लायबिलिटी इज नॉट देयर, तो जस्ट लीव इट। ठीक है, उसके बाद so this particular information is done. The instructions for filing liabilities in relation to asset A plus B. ठीक है, कोई liability नहीं है हमारी। ठीक है, now this is done. Now the next part is calculation of taxable liability. So just leave it for the time being. ठीक है, इसके नीचे हम जाएंगे, हम TDS की इंफॉर्मेशन डालेंगे। फर्स्ट इज फ्रॉम सैलरी। सो सैलरी की जो TDS इंफॉर्मेशन है, सबसे पहले है टैन ऑफ द अकाउंट होल्डर। So tan is, this is the tan. So just copy this, write this. Then name of the employer. So name is given on the first page. This is the name. Okay, income chargeable under the head salary is I think 62,30,000. TDS is deducted. How much TDS is deducted? TDS is deducted 18,30,000. Okay, next one is TDS on income, which is basically this one, interest one. So here you have to write it is related to self, not for spouse. Then PAN, Aadhaar number of the person, ये नहीं है. TAN of the deductor. So deductor का TAN is this. नहीं, this is employer, this one. Then financial year in which it is deducted. So it's always of previous year. So just write 2019, 2020. There is not brought forward, deducted in own hands, or for spouse claim in own hands, claim in the hands of this gross amount. So just write the gross amount here. This is the gross amount. Head of income is income under the head other sources. So you can write it completely. Then the information of TCS, it's not there in our question. Okay, एडवांस टैक्स की इंफॉर्मेशन भी लिखनी है। यहाँ पे आई जो भी असेसी का नाम है, ठीक है, नरेश कुमार, सन डॉटर ऑफ अशोक कुमार, solemnly declare that to the best of my knowledge and belief the information given in the return and schedules thereto is correct and complete and in accordance with the provision of Income Tax Act 1961. I further declare that I am making return in my capacity as Naresh Kumar. Right here again. Okay, I am holding a permanent account number. So यहाँ पे you have to write the permanent account number, PAN number. ठीक है, यहाँ पे डेट आ जाएगी जिस दिन भी आपका प्रैक्टिकल होगा। अभी मोस्ट लाइकली इट विल बी ऑन 30/11। यहाँ पे यू हैव टू साइन। यहाँ पे नहीं लिखना क्योंकि कोई हमारा टैक्स रिटर्न प्रिपेयर नहीं है। इसके बाद हम लोग जाएंगे अपने एडवांस टैक्स की इंफॉर्मेशन भरने, विच इज डिटेल्स ऑफ पेमेंट्स ऑफ एडवांस टैक्स। यहाँ पे हमारी बस एक ही एडवांस टैक्स पेमेंट है 80,000 की। So this is the amount 80,000. Then BSR code is given. This is the code. So write this code here. Then date of deposit is also given. This is the date of deposit. Just write it here. Serial number of the challan. This is also given. So just write it here. Okay, you have to write all this information here. Then you have to file this information. ठीक है, इससे पहले भी हम अपनी जनरल इंफॉर्मेशन डाल देते हैं अबाउट द बैंक डिटेल्स। So our bank is SBI. Okay, this is SBI. This is the account number. So just write the account number here. Then IFSC code. This is the IFSC code. Okay, so यहाँ पे you can just do a tick. Okay. Then यहाँ पे ये कुछ भी नहीं करना है. यहाँ पे ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. ये यहाँ पे चेक बॉक्स है, ये जो आपको लिखने हैं. Do you any time during the previous year hold or beneficial owner or otherwise including financial interest in any entity have signing authority in any account located outside India, have income from any source outside India. यहाँ पे no जरूर कर देना. It's important. ठीक है, so this is done. The basic details are done. Now we have to write our information and we have to calculate the tax manually now. Okay, so so salary की income कितनी है? It is 62,30,000. Income from house property नहीं है. Capital gains में long term capitals है at the rate of 20%. कितने थे हमारे long term capital gains? Okay, find your information. Okay, ये तो salary आ गई. House property आ गई. Then capital gains. So this information was this. Okay, I'm just copying this value. Just write it here. 20% वाली. ठीक है, इसके बाद total capital gains आ गए. यहाँ पे just write it here. फिर income from other sources. ठीक है, at special rates कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है, normal है हमारी net income from other sources at normal rates. ठीक है, so कितने थे हमारे? 2 lakh I think. These were 2,11,400. ठीक है, just write it 2,11,400. 2,11,400. यहाँ इसको लिख लो. Total of headwise income. Now you have to add all these up. This plus 36,95,430 plus 62,30,000. So just write this information here. Loss of current, this is not here. Set off is not here. Brought forward value is not given. So just write the gross total income here. Then income chargeable to tax, special rates कुछ नहीं है. Deductions हमारी कितनी थी? पूरी 2,10,000 थी. ठीक है, 80C, 80CC और D1B और 80TTB. Then total income कितनी हो गई? We have to subtract 2,10,000. So this is our total income. Special rates की कुछ भी नहीं है. 20% का होगा capital gain, which is included in which special rates ही है ना, 20% वाली capital gains at. No, these are not special rates, so we don't write anything. कोई agricultural income नहीं है, aggregate income. So this will be this. कोई carry forward loss नहीं है, कोई deemed income नहीं है. Now tax payable on deemed income हमें कुछ भी नहीं करना है. This is tax payable on total income. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे हमें calculation करनी है. सो जो भी हमारा अमाउंट है ठीक है, ये हमारा टोटल अमाउंट है और इसमें से हम अपनी जो हमारी इनकम थी कैपिटल गेन्स, दिस वन, इसको हम डिडक्ट कर देंगे। ठीक है, क्योंकि हम इसको स्लैब रेट्स के अकॉर्डिंगली नहीं लिखेंगे। बैलेंस कितनी है, दिस माइनस दिस। ठीक है, ये तो हमारी एज पर स्लैब रेट्स कैलकुलेट होगी और जो कैपिटल गेन्स होगा दिस विल बी एट द रेट ऑफ 20%। ठीक है, सो टैक्स पेबल एट नॉर्मल रेट्स, टैक्स पेबल यहाँ पे नहीं, तो ये जो नॉर्मल रेट्स हैं इन्हीं पे ही आप निकालोगे पूरा, स्पेशल रेट्स आपको कुछ नहीं करना है। ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे स्लैब रेट्स के अकॉर्डिंगली फर्स्ट 2,50,000 पे इट इज नील, नेक्स्ट 2,50,000 पे इट इज 5%, सॉरी, नेक्स्ट 5 लाख पे इट इज 10%, सो 50,000। उसके बाद जितना भी बैलेंस है उस पे 30%। दिस इज द टोटल। ठीक है, सिमिलरली यहाँ पे जो कैपिटल गेन्स है इसका अमाउंट जो टैक्स होगा दैट इज एट द रेट ऑफ 20%। अब यू हैव टू ऐड दीज फिगर्स बिकॉज सरचार्ज और हेल्थ और एजुकेशन सेस आपको लगाना है इस पे। सरचार्ज एंड हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन सेस लगेगा, सो यू हैव टू ऐड दीज फिगर्स, दिस प्लस दिस इज योर टोटल टैक्स पेबल। ठीक है, क्योंकि हमारा जो भी पोर्टल है उस पर सरचार्ज लगा नहीं है ना। हाँ, सो वी हैव टू ऐड दिस हियर। 60 आ रहा है, थ्री कर लो इसको, उसके बाद हम करते हैं। थ्री नहीं, बेसिकली आप इसको, हाँ भी 3 कर लो, उसके बाद हम करते हैं इसको राउंड ऑफ। देन सरचार्ज, सरचार्ज का मैंने आपको कहा था कि नॉर्मल एक वैल्यू लिख देना, ये बिफोर एंड मार्जिनल वाले पे मत जाना, डायरेक्ट एक टोटल वैल्यू यहाँ पे लिख देना। सो नाउ सिंस दिस इज लाइंग बिटवीन 2 to 3 crores, so this must be 1 to 2 होता है ना, 2 to 3, so it must be 10-15%. I may be wrong because I am not very much brush up with the rates, so you can check it. So 15% I am doing it. So this is the surcharge, so you can directly write surcharge here. Then health and education cess is at the rate of 4%, so just add these values, दोनों values को add कर लो, total tax आ गया इसका, फिर 4% is health and education cess, so just write health and education cess here. ठीक है, then you have to add all these things, so this will be this, so this is the total tax liability. यहाँ पे आप इसको 20 कर लीजिए, इसको भी डालिए, ये हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन से हो गया ना आपका। दिस इज ग्रॉस, दिस दिस no, not this value basically, ये है ना आपका हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन। ठीक है, इसके बाद आपको कुछ नहीं करना। दिस इज टैक्स रिलीफ, वी डोंट हैव एनी टैक्स रिलीफ। देन इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, टैक्स पेड, यहाँ पे अब आपको एडवांस टैक्स और टीडीएस इंफॉर्मेशन डालनी है जो आपके क्वेश्चन में गिवन है। तो TDS कितना कटा है 20,000 एंड 18,50,000 TDS कटा है 18,50,000। एडवांस टैक्स जो असेसी ने दिया है वो है 80,000। तो टोटल टैक्स पेड है, यहाँ लिखते हैं 19,30,000। ठीक है 19,30,000। नाउ यू कैन सी हाउ मच इज द अमाउंट पेएबल। सो कितना टैक्स हमें पे करना था, हमें पे करना था 28,35,720 माइनस 19,30,000। सो 9 लाख का इसको अभी पे करना है। दिस इज अमाउंट पेड। ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ वी हैव टू सॉल्व द क्वेश्चंस। ठीक है, you have to solve the questions manually. You have to calculate each and every information manually only. ठीक है, but जो practical होगा आपका, practical will be on completely those topics which I have covered in the class so far. So don't worry if I have not covered anything in the class. I will not ask for that information in the exam, but more or less the format will be same and the way you have to complete the question will be same. Okay.